The bus rumbled along the forest-flanked road, laughter and chatter echoing off its windows. It was the annual school trip, a 3-day retreat to Blackwood Trails, a rustic camp nestled in the heart of the woods. For most students, it was a break from the classroom, a chance to relax, explore, and goof off with friends. For Jai, it was simply a change of scenery. He sat alone near the back, backpack resting on his lap, headphones in but silent. He wasn't listening to music, just buffering himself from the noise. He watched the trees blur past a window, his eyes calm, his shoulders relaxed in a posture that said he was present, but removed. 3 rows ahead, Tyler's voice rose above the rest, animated and sharp. He was the kind of kid who made teachers chuckle nervously and other students laugh a little too loud, because not laughing made you a target. Tyler had a way of owning every room he entered. He also had a knack for sniffing out anyone who didn't fit his mold of cool. Next to him sat Matt and Grayson, his ever-faithful lieutenants. They laughed at every quip Tyler made, sometimes before he even finished speaking. Across the aisle sat Lisa, one of the more popular girls, who rolled her eyes but never moved away. Nobody wanted to stand too far from the sun, even if it burned. When the bus finally rolled to a stop at the camp, the air buzzed with excitement. Students spilled out, stretching and grabbing bags, already forming into cliques. Jai stepped off last, his quiet nature making him invisible to most. He adjusted the strap of his bag, eyes scanning the cabins, the trees beyond, and then the wide-open sky. He liked to hear, open, honest. No hallways to crowd him, no lockers to slam. A whistle blew, and Mr. Reeds, the science teacher turned chaperone, called everyone to gather. His attempt at authority was met with half-hearted groans and jokes. Cabin assignments first, he said. No trades, no complaints. As names were read, the groups fell into place. When Jai heard his own name, it was paired with Tyler, Matt, Grayson, and one other boy no one really noticed. Aiden, quiet and a little jittery. Jai didn't react, but the snort that came from Tyler's direction wasn't subtle. "Oh, we got the monk," he muttered to Matt, who burst out laughing. "Maybe he'll teach us how to levitate or something." They arrived at their cabin, 4 bunks, creaky floorboards, a dusty smell of pine and mildew. Jai chose the corner bunk and began unpacking silently. Tyler, clearly displeased with his new roommate, made no attempt to hide his disdain. "You always this weirdly quiet, or are you just practicing for a vow of silence?" Jai didn't look up. Some things don't need a response. Grayson made a Maku sound. "Did you hear that? Wisdom from the mountaintop." They spent the afternoon doing orientation activities, name games, safety briefings, and a scavenger hunt that quickly dissolved into chaos. Tyler's group ditched the instructions and ended up near the lake, skipping rocks and swiping snacks from someone else's bag. Jai wandered separately, his assigned partner, Aiden, sticking nervously nearby. "You don't talk much," Aiden said. Jai smiled faintly. "Neither do you." Aiden laughed, almost surprised. "Guess we're a good match." They found 3 of the items, enough to avoid penalty, and returned to main camp just as the sun dipped low. Dinner was in the mess hall, grilled burgers, baked beans, and plastic cups of lemonade. Jai ate in silence. While Tyler regaled half the table with a story about a fight he almost got into last semester. Later, back at the cabin, the tension thickened. Matt dumped half a water bottle on Jai's pillow. Grayson hid his hiking boots. When Jai calmly retrieved them from under the deck steps and dried his pillow without a word, it only made them more annoyed. "You some kind of robot?" Tyler asked. "We're trying to get reaction here." Jai looked at him then, not with anger, just with a steady, unreadable gaze that made Tyler blink before turning away. "Yeah, whatever. Keep pretending you don't care. Everyone cracks eventually." That night, as the others snored or whispered about girls and dares, Jai lay awake, eyes open to the shadows overhead. He listened, not for trouble, but because stillness was his element. In his mind, he ran through the movements he'd practiced for years, stances, breathing patterns, defenses. He didn't need to use them. He just needed to know he still could. The next morning brought fresh tension. They were divided into teams for a ropes course, balance beams, zip lines, and team bridges. Jai was paired again with Tyler and his group. Predictably, things went south. As they crossed a narrow, suspended beam, Tyler deliberately jostled the rope as Jai stepped forward. Jai didn't fall, but he stumbled, barely catching the rope. Laughter erupted behind him. Mr. Reeds didn't see it, but some students did. A few whispered, some frowned. Jai said nothing. Later, back on the ground, Tyler clapped him on the shoulder a little too hard. "You're pretty balanced for someone so off balance. You should try it," Jai said, not smiling. That night, someone upturned his bag, scattering his clothes in the dirt. Aiden helped him gather everything. "Why don't you say something?" Aiden asked. Jai looked at him. "They want a show. I'm not here to perform." "They're not going to stop," Aiden warned. "I know." By the third day, word started to spread. Quiet whispers about how Jai had caught himself on the beam in a way most couldn't. About how he didn't react, didn't flinch, no matter what the others did. Even a few teachers had noticed the bullying, but nothing concrete had happened. Tyler still ruled the group's energy, but cracks were forming. That afternoon, during free time, Jai found a quiet clearing behind the cabins. He moved slowly through a kata, fluid, controlled, breathing measured. His hands and feet cut through the air like deliberate poetry. He didn't hear the footsteps behind him until the final motion. Aiden stood there, eyes wide. That was, whoa. "You're not just chill, are you?" Jai pulled his hoodie back on. "Doesn't matter. They'll stop soon enough." "You're planning something?" No, Jai looked him in the eye. "They'll plan something. That's what people like them do. They escalate. That's when they make mistakes." Aiden said nothing, but he didn't look at Jai the same way again. That evening, after a campfire circle filled with bad ghost stories and S-mores, Jai returned to the cabin to find his mattress missing. Completely gone. Laughter exploded from behind a tree as Matt and Grayson emerged. Smug. "Lost your bed, Monk. Guess you're sleeping with the wolves tonight." Jai walked past him silently, eyes scanning the area. He found the mattress stuffed behind the tool shed, soaking wet from a leaky hose they'd left running. He didn't yell. He didn't threaten. He picked up the mattress, dripping and heavy, and walked it back. Past the bullies. Past the curious onlookers. Past Aiden, who now stood up as if to help, but paused when Jai shook his head. Inside the cabin, Jai laid the mattress on the wood floor. He wiped it with a towel, then rolled up in his sleeping bag, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. For the first time, Tyler didn't speak. He just stared at Jai, who stared back, calm as stone. The silence stretched, held, and then Jai turned, closed his eyes, and said nothing. But Tyler had seen something. Something that unsettled him in a way he couldn't quite name. The morning broke with a gray drizzle, the kind that made everything feel slower, quieter. Camp activities were postponed, and students gathered under the large, tented common area. Some played cards. Others hovered over phones that barely had signal. Tyler sat at a picnic table flanked by Matt and Grayson, bored and irritable. His eyes scanned the crowd until they locked on Jai, who was seated cross-legged near the far edge of the tent, reading a small, worn book. "You believe this guy?" Tyler muttered, voice low but tinged with venom. "Acts like he's meditating through life. Can't decide if it's creepy or just pathetic." Matt grunted. "Kinda both." Grayson nudged him. "At least he's not trying to be anything. It's like he knows he's weird and owns it." Tyler narrowed his eyes. "Don't make excuses for him." Across the space, Jai turned a page, eyes never lifting. But he'd heard. He always did. It was something in the tone. Tyler's need to dominate even when the stakes were nothing. Later, during lunch, the atmosphere shifted. Mr. Reeds announced a team-based survival challenge for the afternoon, an orienteering exercise that required groups to navigate marked trails, complete small tasks, and collect items to bring back. It was competitive but meant to foster teamwork. Naturally, the faculty randomized the groups. Jai found himself paired with Tyler, Grayson, a girl named Nia who rarely spoke, and a boy named Evan who was more interested in photography than hiking. Aiden was placed with a different group, and their brief eye contact across the field conveyed silent concern. Tyler wasn't pleased with the grouping. Perfect. I get the monk, the mute, and the shutterbug. Where we, team useless. Or team carrier to weight. Jai said flatly, tying his bootlaces. Grayson choked on a laugh, but Tyler's smile vanished. He stepped closer, lowering his voice. You think you're clever? I think we're wasting time. They set off, map in hand, trudging into the woods with uneven enthusiasm. The first task, collecting a red flag from a tree near the stream, was simple. Evan spotted it through his lens before anyone else. The second challenge required the team to use a rope to cross a small ravine. Nia quietly tied the knots. Jai volunteered to test the line, moving with surprising agility. Even Tyler, despite himself, followed without issue. The tension, though, never left. At checkpoint 3, a puzzle challenge, Tyler grew impatient. This is a waste of time. Who even cares who wins? It's a team event, Nia said quietly, eyes on the puzzle pieces. We're supposed to work together. Spoken like someone who doesn't care about winning, Tyler snapped. Jai intervened before the comment escalated. We finish it, we get back faster. You want to beat the other teams or not? That reoriented Tyler, though his glares hadn't stopped. The puzzle was completed. They marked their progress and continued deeper into the woods, looking for the final checkpoint. The trail thinned as they walked. Rain dripped from leaves above. The forest grew quieter. Then they came to a fork in the path. Tyler checked the map. It's left. Jai glanced at it. It's right. You trying to get us lost on purpose now. The terrain slopes west on the map. Left takes us downhill. But the final checkpoint is uphill northwest. So it's right. Grayson looked unsure. I think he's right. Tyler scowled, then, without warning, ripped the map in half and threw both pieces into the brush. Oops. Guess we'll have to go by instinct. Jai stared at him, slow disbelief filling his eyes. You'd sabotage your own team, just to prove you're in charge. No, Tyler sneered. To prove I don't take orders from guys who act like they're too good to speak. Nia stepped back. Evan lowered his camera. Jai exhaled once, steady and quiet. You're not angry at me. You're scared, and you don't know why. That hit harder than anything else could have. Tyler lunged forward, grabbing Jai's shirt. Say that again. Jai didn't flinch. You heard me. For a moment, it seemed like Tyler might throw a punch. His hands clenched. The forest held its breath. Then behind them, Evan said, Guys, we're not alone. Everyone turned. Two men, dressed in worn jeans and muddy jackets, stepped from the underbrush. One held a walking stick, the other a machete dangling at his belt. They didn't smile. Didn't expect to see kids out this far, the taller one said. You lost. The group froze. Jai took a small step in front of Nia and Evan. We're part of a school trip, he said calmly. There's a marked trail. We're on a team activity. Is that right? The other man said. No map? Doesn't look like you're on much of a trail. Grayson's voice cracked. We had a map. It got torn. The first man stepped closer, eyes narrowing. You got phones? Evan held his up, trembling. No signal out here. Tyler, pale now, stepped back behind Jai without a word. Jai's voice stayed even. We should be heading back now. Our teacher will be looking for us. Maybe we help you get back, the second man said. His tone made it clear that help meant something else entirely. Jai didn't move. We'll find our way. We don't need assistance. The man with the stick took another step forward. That was when Jai shifted. It was subtle, his posture altering, weight centering, gaze sharpening. His hands dropped loose at his sides, but ready? Back off, he said. It wasn't loud, but it was final. The tension snapped. Something in Jai's stillness, like the coiled pause before a storm, made both men hesitate. The taller one glanced at the other. Let's go. Not worth it. They turned, melting back into the woods. When the silence returned, Tyler spoke. His voice was small. What was that? Jai turned to face the group, but his expression was unreadable. Let's get back. Now. No one argued. They made their way carefully, following the contours of the trail until signs of the main path reappeared. Eventually, they saw the tents through the trees. Mr. Reeds was pacing near the treeline, radio in hand, clearly worried. "You're late," he barked. "What happened?" Tyler opened his mouth, but Jai cut in, got turned around. "Resolved it." Mr. Reeds looked over them all. "You okay?" Everyone nodded, though none with as much certainty as Jai. As they walked back toward the campfire circle, the sky breaking open with light, Tyler hung back a few steps, then jogged up beside Jai. He didn't speak at first. Then, You weren't scared back there." "I was," Jai said. "Fear doesn't mean weakness. It means you're awake." Tyler didn't reply. His voice had no weaponry now. "Why didn't you tell anyone what we were doing to you?" "Because it wouldn't change who you are." That landed like a stone. Tyler stopped walking. Jai didn't. Behind them, Evan whispered to Nia, "I don't think he's the weird one anymore." Jai reached the camp circle and sat down, back to the fire pit, eyes on the forest. He wasn't expecting redemption, but silence could be powerful when wielded with purpose. And people were finally starting to hear it. The buzz around camp shifted after the encounter in the woods. Word spread, as it always does among teenagers. Some details exaggerated, others diluted. The two strange men became ghosts in the forest, their presence twisted into myth by the time it reached the cafeteria line. But the story's constant was Jai, calm, unshaken, and somehow responsible for getting everyone out safely. Aiden approached him the next day as they sat on the edge of the dock, the lake glimmering beneath overcast skies. "You all right?" Jai nodded. "Yeah. You?" Aiden stared at him. "I heard what happened. Everyone's talking about how you faced them down. I didn't do anything special. Tyler said you scared them off just by standing there." Jai looked out at the water. "Sometimes people see what they're afraid of." Aiden gave a quiet chuckle. That might be the most Jai thing I've ever heard. Silence lapped between them for a few beats. "You ever going to tell me what's really up with you?" Aiden asked, not unkindly. Jai glanced at him. "Does it matter?" Aiden didn't answer right away. Then, "Only if it matters to you." That night, the camp hosted a traditional bonfire, a final night ritual meant to celebrate teamwork and growth. The air was thick with smoke and laughter, the kind of atmosphere that made the forest seem far less threatening. Tyler, surprisingly, sat close to the center, just a few seats from Jai. His posture had changed, less puffed-up bravado, more careful stillness. When Mr. Reeds invited students to share stories or highlights from the week, Tyler stood. Everyone quieted. "I just want to say something," he began, rubbing the back of his neck. "About people and about first impressions." A few snickers rippled through the group. He ignored them. "I used to think strength was about being the loudest guy in the room, the one who could talk back or win a fight. But it's not. It's knowing who you are even when no one else sees it, even when people laugh or try to make you feel small." His eyes didn't go to Jai, but the implication was unmistakable. "I learned something out here, and I think we all did." He sat down to light applause. A few students exchanged confused looks. Others nodded. Jai didn't react, but Aiden, seated beside him, nudged his shoulder. "Progress." "Unexpected," Jai murmured. The fire cracked and sparked. A sense of finality hovered in the air, as if the trip's story was winding toward its last page. But it wasn't. The next morning, on the final hike before departure, the students were again sorted into teams to clean up marked sections of the trail. Jai was grouped with Nia, Evan, and, unexpectedly, Tyler. They hiked in silence at first, picking up litter, marking fallen branches, tying ribbons to trail markers. It was mundane work, safe work. Then Evan froze. "Guys!" "Over here." They gathered near a large boulder, where the earth had been disturbed. Leaves kicked away, soil churned. Something had been buried and recently unearthed. A long, narrow metal box sat slightly open, its edges rusted but the lock recently broken. Nia stepped back. "What is that?" Tyler squatted, brushing away debris. Inside were tools, bolt cutters, gloves, a flashlight, a hunting knife, And a phone. Jai's brows knitted. That wasn't here before. No way, Evan muttered. Someone was using this spot, like a drop site. Tyler stood, unease rippling through him. Maybe it belonged to those guys. Jai picked up the phone with a stick. Careful not to touch it. The battery was dead. We should bring this to Mr. Reed's. But Tyler's instincts kicked in. No, we can't leave it here. If it's connected to something, someone might come back. They wrapped the box in a tarp from Evan's bag and carried it carefully back to the main path. What had begun as a routine hike had shifted into something else, something darker and unfinished. When they returned to the camp center, Mr. Reed's face hardened at the sight of the box. He called in the park rangers immediately. Within an hour, officials arrived, sealing off parts of the trail and questioning the students. Jai answered plainly. So did the others. That night, after most campers had gone to bed, Aiden found Jai sitting near the dying embers of the fire, alone. You okay? Jai nodded slowly. It's not over. What do you mean? Those men weren't just wandering. They were coming back for something. That box. Maybe more. Aiden sat beside him, expression grim. You think they'll return? I think they never left. Across the clearing, movement stirred in the trees. Just a flicker, gone before it could be confirmed. But Jai had seen it. His voice dropped. They're watching. Still, Aiden didn't question it. Instead, he reached for the walkie-talkie clipped to his belt, a precaution issued after yesterday's discovery. I'll stay here with you. Jai gave a small, grateful nod. Neither of them said it out loud. But they both knew the trip wasn't really over. Not yet. The morning fog hung thick around the campgrounds, as if the forest itself didn't want to release the students just yet. Departure was scheduled for noon, but an unsettling tension lingered in the air, subtle, but present in every glance of his shoulder, every unfinished sentence. Teachers did their best to maintain order, but their clipped tones and alert eyes betrayed a growing concern. Jai kept his backpack tight against his shoulders, even though they hadn't officially started moving. He stood near the bus, scanning the woods with the same focus he'd used when solving the puzzle or navigating trails. Nothing stirred, but that meant little. The silence wasn't reassuring anymore. Aiden approached with 2 paper cups of coffee, both steaming. Still nothing? Jai shook his head, accepting the drink. They won't show while it's crowded. They? The men. Whoever else is involved. If that drop box meant anything, they'll come back for it. Aiden sipped his coffee, the cup shaking slightly in his hands. You're not letting this go. Can't, Jai said. Something's unfinished. Just then, Mr. Reed's called for final check-ins. Students began forming lines, laughing too loudly, their relief ringing hollow. Teachers hurried to count heads and double-check rosters. Tyler stood at the edge of the group, not with his usual arrogance, but with a watchfulness that mirrored Jai's. He caught Jai's eye and gave a nod, not one of friendship, but of understanding. They were different people now. The first bus rumbled to life. Luggage was loaded. Chatter picked up. Then Evan came sprinting across the field, breathless, face pale. They're back. 2 of them, on the lower trail. Panic cracked the air. Mr. Reed stepped forward immediately. Everyone, stay calm. Stay by the buses. But Jai was already moving. So was Aiden. Tyler, without hesitation, followed. You can't go into the woods right now, Mr. Reed called, but Jai's voice cut across him. If we don't, someone gets hurt. Trust me. Mr. Reed hesitated, then cursed under his breath and turned to another teacher. Call the rangers. Now. The 3 boys disappeared into the woods. Evan had seen them on the lower loop trail, near the old ranger's hut, abandoned for years but still intact enough to provide shelter. It made sense. It was out of the way, easy to watch from, and rarely patrolled. As they ran, Jai laid out the plan. We don't confront them. We observe, get proof, and let the rangers handle it. What if they spot us first? Tyler asked. Then we disappear faster than they can react. They slowed near the trailhead. The woods were denser here, and the sound of the buses faded into memory. The cabin came into view through the underbrush, its roof sagging, windows dark. Jai crouched behind a fallen log. The others followed suit. 2 figures emerged from the side door of the hut. Same men, same clothes. The taller one held a tablet. The other paced anxiously. "They're checking to see if the drop is still there," Aiden whispered. "Or worse," Jai said, trying to find out who took it. Tyler pulled out his phone, lifted it to record. "We get this footage to the Rangers, it's game over." But as he zoomed in, the shorter man suddenly turned toward the woods. Jai ducked. Down. Footsteps. Crunching leaves. Fast. Approaching. "They saw something," Aiden hissed. "No. They heard us." There was no time for strategy. They bolted. Branches whipped past. Roots clawed at their feet. The forest seemed to close in. But they didn't stop. Behind them came shouts, muffled but aggressive. Aiden veered left. Tyler followed. Jai pulled ahead, navigating by instinct. They reached the ridge above the river, too steep to descend safely. Aiden skidded to a stop. "We're trapped." "No," Jai said. He scanned the trees. "There's a narrow way down. We stick close to the rocks." Tyler cursed under his breath, but didn't argue. They scrambled down the slope, slipping more than climbing. Midway down, the taller man appeared above them, silhouetted by gray sky. He shouted, "You kids think this is a game?" Jai turned. "No, but you picked the wrong place to play yours." Something in his voice, calm, resolved, ice-edged, made the man falter. Just then, a voice echoed from above. "Drop your weapon and step away from the edge." It was a ranger. 2 more appeared from the trees behind, guns drawn, expression stony. The man cursed. The other one raised his hands. Minutes later, the 3 boys were escorted back up the trail. The men were handcuffed, their belongings secured. One of the rangers pulled Jai aside. "You knew they'd come back." "I saw what they left behind. You don't leave gear like that unless you plan to use it again. You've got good instincts, kid. You think fast under pressure. I had help." Jai glanced toward Aiden and Tyler. Back at the buses, the students buzzed with news. Teachers sighed with relief. Mr. Reeds looked like he'd aged 10 years in one morning. Tyler walked up to Jai as the ranger vehicles pulled away. "I thought you were just weird," he said. "Now, I think you might be a little terrifying." Jai gave a half smile. "I'll take that." Aiden joined them. "So, we stopping bad guys now? Is that like our thing?" "Just this once," Jai said. "Hopefully." They boarded the bus, the door closing behind them with a hiss. As the vehicle rolled down the dirt road, winding back toward civilization, Jai leaned against a window, watching the trees blur past. He didn't relax. Not fully, but for the first time in a long while, he allowed himself to breathe. He had come to the woods as a loner, a target, an outlier. He was leaving something else entirely. Someone the world could no longer ignore.